Caitlin shocking Paige Bueckers Snub sparks all-star drama. Well, was there ever a doubt? Caitlin Clark had the first pick of the starters round, thanks to topping the fan votes. And of course, she used it to snatch up her partner, Aliyah Boston. That pick was more obvious than all the fouls that keep going ignored by the officials these days. Napheesa Collier followed up by picking Breanna Stewart, because Phee's dream team is the 2016 UConn championship one, and Stewie was there guiding her then. Now, Clark had eyes on Kelsey Mitchell, too, and had even made it clear with a laugh. I'm gonna do everything I can. I might trade the rest of my team for those two. Luckily for her, no trade drama was needed. After grabbing Boston, she snagged Kelsey with her second pick in the reserves round. That came right after Napheesa went with her own teammate Courtney Williams. And the last pick of the starters draft? Clark had a classic dilemma. Satou Sabally or Paige Bueckers? A tough choice, sure, but in the end, she went with Sabally. Honestly, it was a pretty smart decision. Clark laid it out while explaining her pick, saying, "They are both amazing, obviously. Taking Paige puts at a size disadvantage with me, Paige, and Sabrina, so I'll let Phee win this one. I will take Satou. Satou has had a great year. Napheesa is a UConn product just like Paige, and it's just more fitting that those two are on the same team." So, Phee had basically prayed while taking Nneka that her baby husky would still be there after coming back, and Clark trolled Phee on just telling her plans for her next pick out loud. But, kind-hearted like always, Clark further joked, "Phee, you can be happy now. I want you to remember that when we get down to the reserves. I let her pick two in a row, basically." While Clark had the opportunity to disrupt Collier's strategy, choosing Sabally over Bueckers was a logical move. Both Clark and Bueckers are natural point guards, and having them on the same team would force one into an unfamiliar role. In contrast, the 6'4" Sabally adds much-needed size and rebounding to a lineup that already features two smaller guards, Clark at 6 feet and Ionescu at 5 feet 11. Sabally has been outstanding in her first season with Phoenix, averaging a career-high 19.1 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 2.6 assists per game, making an impact on both ends of the floor. Meanwhile, Bueckers has been impressive in Dallas too, averaging 18.2 points, 5.5 assists, and 4.1 rebounds through the first 15 games of her career. Sabally is noticeably ahead in rebounds while Bueckers is ahead in the assists criteria, and Clark already had that covered with herself and Ionescu. With Clark setting the table for both Sabally and Aya Wilson, this squad promises to be a dynamic and exciting watch. Clark and Collier have long shared a strong friendship, with the Minnesota Star publicly praising Clark's transformative impact on the game last year. Collier also left the door open for Clark to join her player-run league, Unrivaled, after Clark initially turned down the invitation. That mutual respect and connection were on full display during the All-Star draft, as both captains appeared to coordinate selections to ensure they each landed the players they most wanted on their respective teams. Clark was already very transparent with her picks as she wanted Boston and Kelsey Mitchell on her side. She also let Collier have her UConn protege in Bueckers, while Collier did not step on Clark's toes when it came to Mitchell. Collier also had a clear-cut strategy heading into the draft: shoot for current and former teammates. "I feel like got to try to get some of my Unrivaled Owls girls on here and got to try to get some of my UConn Huskies girls on here, so I've got an agenda coming into today," Collier said. And Clark did not go drastically against Collier except for her Gabby Williams pick. Even for their last pick, Phee picked Ryan Howard, and Clark got Kayla Thornton, who she wanted anyway, which worked out well for both. The two, though, went against the rules as they swapped coaches mid-draft, as Collier felt more comfortable with her Minnesota coach, Cheryl Reeve, and Clark wanted Sandy Brondello. So, Brondello will be in charge of Team Clark because of this coach trade. "I don't know if this is in the rules, I don't really care, but I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches," Clark explained. "Phee is going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello, let's get it. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rules. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. Sandy Brondello, come on over, let's get to it." Clark and Collier got the players and coach they wanted, setting the stage for what could be the biggest All-Star weekend in WNBA history. With Indiana hosting for the first time, the arena is expected to be packed just like it is for every Fever home game. With Clark leading one of the teams, tickets are sure to sell out fast. Fans will also get a long-awaited matchup as Clark goes head-to-head with Paige Bueckers, first when the Fever takes on Dallas on July 13th and then again in the All-Star game. Matchup as Clark goes head-to-head with Paige Bueckers, first when the Fever takes on Dallas on July 13th and then again in the All-Star game.